The world held its breath. In the heart of Vatican City, an air of palpable tension enveloped the crowd. People from all walks of life, from different corners of the globe, had gathered, their eyes fixed on the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. The anticipation was almost unbearable, a collective yearning for a sign, a symbol of hope and renewal. Days of anticipation culminated in a plume of white smoke, a sight that sent waves of relief and joy through the masses. The white smoke, billowing against the azure sky, was more than just a signal. It was a beacon of change, a promise of a new beginning, a signal of change and hope. Faces in the crowd lit up with expressions of joy and hope. Tears of happiness streamed down cheeks, and strangers embraced, united by the shared experience of witnessing history in the making. From the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle of the Philippines emerged, the newly elected Pope. His presence was met with a thunderous applause, a wave of sound that echoed through the ancient walls of the Vatican. A hush fell over the crowd, their faces a mixture of awe and expectation. The silence was profound, a collective holding of breath as they awaited his first words. This was a historic moment, a new chapter for the Catholic Church. The election of Pope Tagle marked a significant shift, a moment that would be remembered for generations to come. His smile was warm and disarming as he greeted the world. It was a smile that spoke of compassion, understanding, and a deep connection with the people. In that instant, barriers seemed to crumble. The divisions that had once seemed insurmountable now felt trivial in the face of this unifying moment. People of different backgrounds, beliefs, and cultures found common ground in their shared humanity. Here was a man of the people, a shepherd chosen to lead his flock. His humility and approachability endeared him to the masses, and his genuine concern for the well-being of others was evident in every gesture. He spoke, his voice gentle yet strong, carrying a message of love and unity. His words resonated deeply, touching the hearts of those who listened. He spoke of a future where compassion and understanding would guide the way, where the Church would be a beacon of hope for all. The world listened, captivated by the sincerity in his eyes. In that moment, it felt as though a new dawn had truly arrived, a dawn filled with promise, hope, and the potential for a brighter future for all. "Brothers and sisters," he began, his voice tinged with emotion. His eyes scanned the crowd, taking in the sea of faces that had gathered to hear him speak. Each person, each soul, seemed to weigh heavily on his heart. "I am humbled by the task before me," he continued, his voice steady but filled with a profound sense of responsibility. The enormity of his role was not lost on him, and he made it clear that he did not take it lightly. His words, spoken in Italian, resonated deeply with those present. The language of his heart, it seemed, was one of humility and service. The crowd listened intently, hanging on to every word as if each syllable carried a piece of his soul. Here was no distant figure, but a man who understood the weight of responsibility. He was not just a leader, but a shepherd, guiding his flock with care and compassion. His thoughtful expressions and genuine interactions with the people around him spoke volumes. He spoke of his own unworthiness, a reflection of his deep faith and humility. His hands clasped in a gesture of prayer, his serene expression conveyed a sense of peace and acceptance. It was clear that his humility was not a facade, but a true reflection of his character. Pope Tagle's humility resonated with the crowd. They responded with smiles, nods, and applause, their hearts touched by his sincerity. It was a moment of connection, a shared understanding of the values that he stood for. It was a refreshing change, a return to the core values of the Church. His open arms and welcoming gestures were a symbol of inclusivity and love. He spoke not just to the faithful, but to all who were willing to listen, inviting them to join him in a journey of faith and service. He spoke of service, of compassion, of the need to reach out to the marginalized. His words were not just empty promises, but a call to action. He led by example, engaging in charity work and comforting those in need. His actions spoke louder than words, embodying the very principles he preached. His words were not just pronouncements, but a call to action, an invitation to join him on a journey of faith. He led the way, walking with the crowd, surrounded by followers who were inspired by his example. It was a journey of faith, of service, and of love, a path that he invited everyone to walk with him. Unity was a central theme of his address. He spoke of the need to bridge divides, to heal wounds, and to embrace diversity. "We are one flock," he proclaimed, "united in Christ." His words were a powerful reminder of the universality of the Church, a call to transcend differences and embrace our shared humanity. Pope Tagle's vision of unity extended beyond the walls of the Church. He spoke of dialogue, of understanding, of the need to build bridges with other faiths. His message was one of inclusivity, a recognition that we are all children of God, regardless of our beliefs. Looking towards the future, Pope Tagle spoke of hope. He acknowledged the challenges facing the Church and the world, but urged his listeners to never lose sight of the guiding stars of faith and love. He outlined his vision for a more just and compassionate world, a world where the poor and marginalized are lifted up and where peace prevails. His words were a beacon of light, a source of inspiration for Catholics worldwide. He challenged the faithful to be agents of change, to be the hands and feet of Christ in the world. His vision was ambitious, yet grounded in the belief that with God, all things are possible. News of Pope Tagle's election sparked celebrations across the globe, particularly in his native Philippines. The announcement was met with an outpouring of emotion, as Filipinos from all walks of life took to the streets to express their joy and pride. The election of a Filipino pope was seen as a historic moment, not just for the country, but for the entire Catholic community worldwide. Tears of joy streamed down the faces of Filipinos as they watched their beloved cardinal ascend to the highest position in the Catholic Church. The emotional reactions were a testament to the deep connection and affection the people had for Pope Tagle. Families gathered around their televisions, holding hands and praying, as they witnessed this monumental event unfold. It was a moment of immense pride and joy for the Philippines, a predominantly Catholic nation. The streets of Manila and other cities were filled with jubilant crowds, waving flags and singing hymns. The sense of unity and national pride was palpable, as people from different regions and backgrounds came together to celebrate this significant achievement. Churches across the country overflowed with worshippers, offering prayers of thanksgiving for their new pope. Special masses were held, and the air was filled with the sound of hymns and prayers. The faithful gathered in large numbers, seeking to express their gratitude and to pray for the guidance and wisdom of Pope Tagle as he embarked on his new role. The streets were alive with music and dancing, a testament to the deep faith and joy of the Filipino people. Traditional dances and songs echoed through the neighborhoods as communities organized parades and events to mark the occasion. The celebrations were not just confined to the cities. Even in remote villages, people found ways to join in the festivities. Pope Tagle's election was a source of immense hope, not just for the Philippines, but for Asia and the developing world. His humble background and compassionate approach resonated with many, inspiring a sense of optimism and renewal. People from various Asian countries and beyond celebrated, seeing in Pope Tagle a leader who could bring a fresh perspective and a renewed sense of purpose to the global Catholic community. From the bustling cities of Latin America to the rural communities of North America, Pope Tagle's words resonated deeply. His message of unity and compassion struck a chord with Catholics across the Americas, a region grappling with issues of poverty, inequality, and social justice. His election was seen as a sign of the growing importance of the global South within the Church. Many saw in Pope Tagle a champion for the marginalized, a voice for the voiceless. His long-standing commitment to social justice, his compassion for the poor, and his tireless advocacy for migrants and refugees resonated deeply with communities across the Americas. Pope Tagle's election transcended geographical boundaries. His ability to connect with people from all walks of life, his warmth and his humility resonated with Catholics and non-Catholics alike. He was seen as a bridge builder, a unifier, a leader who could bring people together in a world often divided. His multicultural background, his fluency in multiple languages, and his deep understanding of different cultures positioned him uniquely to lead a global church. His election was a powerful symbol of the universality of the Catholic faith, a testament to its ability to transcend cultural and linguistic barriers. Pope Tagle's first address was more than just a speech. It was a testament to his character, his faith, and his vision for the Church. His words, imbued with humility, compassion, and hope, left an indelible mark on the hearts of millions. His message of unity, his call for dialogue, and his unwavering commitment to social justice set the tone for his papacy. His leadership promised to be one of listening, of understanding, and of accompaniment. He invited the Church to embark on a journey of renewal, a journey guided by the principles of faith, love, and service. As the sun began to set on Rome, casting a warm glow over St. Peter's Square, Pope Tagle offered his final blessing. The crowd erupted in applause, their faces filled with hope and anticipation. A new era had begun, an era full of possibilities. Pope Tagle's first address was a promise, a commitment to lead with humility, to serve with love, and to build bridges of understanding. His journey had just begun, but his message was clear. Let us walk together, he urged, towards a brighter tomorrow. Please subscribe to our channel History Documentary for more insightful videos on historical events and figures.